Disco violence. When I asked, it turns out that the Vietnamese are a little vague about what animal year it is. You know, we just passed the Lunar New Year, and I asked him, is it in fact the year of the rabbit? And he said, well, rabbit or cat or small animal, you know, it was just a little vague. And he kind of confessed that part of this is just a little bit of pushback on the Chinese, not really wanting to kind of accept wholesale sale of the whole Chinese system, because you know the Vietnamese and the Chinese have their history. So that wasn't the answer that I wanted, because I want this year to be the year of the bunny. So we're just gonna go with bunny. We're just gonna go all the way with bunny. And here's why this is important. Years and years and years ago, we were at Isis Oasis for an Interplay intensive. Now, Isis Oasis is weirder than Interplay. It's it's really a wonderful place, but it's a retreat center in Northern California, up in the wine country. And it's got this whole Egyptian thing going on. There's an Isis uh, cult, you know, using cult in the best way possible, that does their things there. And they have all this Egyptiana, and the woman who ran the place had dark hair and the dark eyebrows like Cleopatra. And she had peacocks wandering around, and an emu, which I think is really supposed to be an emu. And it's a longer story, but it's a very cool but weird place, weirder than Interplay, if that's even possible. We were at Isis Oasis for one of these intensive retreats. It was a great place for retreats. It was after lunch. Cynthia was leading. She had us lie down on the floor, which is a great thing to do right after lunch. And she asked us, just invited us to pull out our emotional body and kind of let it kind of float above us, pull out over it. Okay, I suppose I can do this. Pull out my emotional body. I am a Hosier. I don't know if it's the best idea in the world, but okay, I'll go along with this because I'm, you know, try to be a good player when other people are leading. So I pulled out, I was kind of pulling out my emotional body, and these words came flashing in my head. It said, "It's a bunny." And I got this image of this brown rabbit. It wasn't like a white one of those white rabbits. It was like a brown rabbit that you would see, and it was just sitting there on its haunches. And these words, "It's a bunny." It just was just that popped. It just popped into my head all at once. And I knew it was important. And partly because of this, well, not just because of that. Okay, so that happened. And I'll tell you what, you know, when I was checking this out with my partner, when my partner pulled out her emotional body, it was a big oily mass of some sort. And I thought, oh, I am just not very evolved. But anyway, I told, you know, I think we had a group check-in, and I probably told them about the "It's a bunny" and seeing the bunny and all that. And so Isis Oasis isn't too far from Healdsburg. And when during the intensives, we would often go into Healdsburg to do a little shopping. And someone in their shopping found a bunny mask, a white bunny mask, you know, just, you know, with the ears and all that. And I didn't know they were buying it. But what happened over the rest of the course of the intensive was that someone would put on the mask outside the room, and then they would just peek their head into the room like a little bunny sighting, and then go back out. And it was different people at different times who had the bunny mask on. They were just coming in and just made a little bunny appearance, and then they would go back out. So there was that part of it, which, you know, just made the story. There's nothing like when you have a story and people help you make it into even a bigger story. because then you feel so important because it's like your story, only it's bigger and everybody's helping. But this is not the end of it. I'm gonna end this damn story. I'm gonna take as much time as it needs, but I'll tell it quickly. We're driving home and we passed through Santa Rosa, and sometimes we would stop in Santa Rosa to get something to eat or drink. We decided to stop for frozen yogurt. And we couldn't remember exactly where the frozen yogurt place was, so we decided we would use our psychic powers. This is a bunch of video players, you know. That's surely going to work. So we used our psychic powers. We headed to the yogurt place. We found it. We pulled into the little strip mall where it is. We parked. We looked up. We were parked right outside the bunny hut. Rabbit things. And so that's why it's important that this is the year of the bunny, and that's why the bunny is my spirit animal.